Well, Week 13 was a very defining week for a lot of teams across the NFL. Now, where do they stand after Week 13? How do I feel these teams compare against each other? That's what we're going to answer today in my official NFL Week 14 Power Rankings. Let's dive right into this. So kicking things off at number 10, not the Rams, but another blue team, the Indianapolis Colts. They were not ranked last week, but they are in this list because they have been doing so much with so little. When Gardner Minshew's your quarterback and you don't have Anthony Richardson all season, you're going to start to think that your season is probably going to be on the downward slope and it's going to be on the downtrend. The Colts, though, they have gotten better. They have looked great. They have looked amazing. And Gardner Minshew has been leading this team and taking them on their back. Yes, they almost lost to Tennessee, which is kind of, bad. But this Colts team is finding ways to win. And not to mention last week's number 10, the Steelers kind of fell off a cliff. So I needed a new number 10. And the Colts were just fitting of that because of their grit and determination to get the win through any means necessary. That is what a winner does. Alright, so at number 9, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. This 8-4 team falling 2 spots from last week after a loss on Monday Night Football to the Cincinnati Bengals in overtime. And this is quite frankly because the Jaguars might very well be without Trevor Lawrence for an extended period of time. This is being recorded right after the game, so I don't know exactly how serious the injury is, but it did look like a very bad ankle sprain for Trevor Lawrence. And if he's out for any extended period of time, the Jaguars are going to struggle. The Jaguars could fall off, and the Texans could be the new number 1 seed of that division. So, it is bad. The Jaguars have a soft schedule coming up, but it is a tough loss for them without Trevor Lawrence now if he is going to be out for any lengthy period of time for the Jags. Speaking of Houston, the Texans are the number 8 team on these rankings. They are 7-5, up 1 spot from last week because, man, this team is finding ways to pull out big critical wins. This team is finding ways to take games that really they shouldn't be in, and they're finding ways to make them winning games and winner games. They're finding ways to take games that they really should not have won at the start of the season, and they're flipping those should have been L's to W's, which is what the caliber of CJ Stroud and this whole team can do. I'm not discounting anyone else. CJ Stroud has really been doing a great job, but I don't think anyone else gets talked about as much. The defense, Derek Stingley and Will Anderson, that defense, that combo, oh my gosh, they have been great this season. The Texans have proven it both ways. They have proven that they can beat you with defense, and they have proven that they can beat you with offense through various different ways. And it just goes to show this Texans team is very dangerous and very volatile down the stretch. We don't know what they're capable of, but it is not good if you're going up against them. And that's as much as we know about this team. At number 7, we have the 8-4 Chiefs, down 2 spots from last week after a tough loss on Sunday Night Football, not Monday night. The Chiefs, though, overall, the defense is carrying them. Offensively, there is a lot to be desired, and another week of sluggish offensive performances could very well drop this team almost off the list, which is really surprising. But Kansas City's in free fall. They got to get the offense grooving again. That offense, the receivers need to get better at receiving the balls. Mahomes has not been looking like Mahomes this season. It's just been a bad season offensively for the Chiefs all around. Meanwhile, defensively, they're looking great, but defense is only going to carry you so far if your offense decides to go lights out. Or actually go out. At number 6, we have the 9-3 Dolphins, up 2 spots after their absolute domination of the Commies. This is because of what we have seen out of the Dolphins team. If you give them a team that is close to or below 500, they will wreck face. Now, we have not seen them beat a great team, which is why they're not really in the top 5. But this team does show potential based off of how badly they beat up against the bad teams. They show potential that they might be able to make something happen occasionally, maybe when it counts, against a good team. Just like the Rams in that Super Bowl run. They did not beat the Niners all regular season in their 2 matches, but they beat them when it counted. And that's what I think this Dolphins team might do. They might win games when it counts. At number 5, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. This 10-2 team falling 4 spots because, well, they got exposed. There were murmurs about the Eagles being frauds this season all around because they weren't winning convincingly. I kind of hopped on the opposition to that, saying that proves that they are a winner, they are a contender, because they're finding ways to win in sloppy fashion. So whenever you do win in dominating fashion, it's going to look great. But when you don't get a dominating win and instead you get dominated as bad as you did against the Niners, that just does not bode well, and you cannot justify anything but a free fall after that loss. Philadelphia did get a signing of Shaq Leonard today, which does help that defense a bit. It does help the linebacker core a little bit. But overall, Philadelphia is taking a bit of a drop this week because of that bad loss to San Fran. At number 4, we have the 9-3 Lions, up 2 spots from last week after they proved that they are back. This team has proven that they're back offensively, and the big thing is the Lions did not have the turnovers. Now, I would have loved to have seen them keep the gas going when they were up 21-0, but at the same time, they proved what they needed to prove. They showed that, hey, we can get a win, and we can be dominant in offense. We proved our offense can look great, and the offense can do wonders when they're not turning the ball over, which is one of the things Dan Campbell had highlighted was a big key problem that would fix a lot of the issues that the Lions have had, and it certainly looked like it on Sunday. At number 3, we have the 9-3 Cowboys. This team finding ways to get big wins. This last week beating Seattle just shows how this team is versatile. They can beat you defensively if you're bad, like they did early in the season. But then recently, Dak has been heating up and this offense has been looking great. The offense is looking better and better and better. They're aging like a fine red wine. This team really looking like they can be a threat down the stretch to make some noise. Maybe not necessarily to win a lot of games, but to, disrupt the noise and disrupt anything going on for the playoffs. At number 2, we have the 9-3 Ravens, up 1 spot as a factor of the Eagles dropping. And the Ravens, just because they are a very complete team. Yeah, you don't have Mark Andrews anymore, but you're gonna look like a solid team down the stretch. This Ravens team is finding ways to get the wins that they need. Now, they did look a little rough against the Chargers, I do have to admit, in their last game, but they're gonna be back. They're gonna be getting healthier. This week is the last week of their 1 game in 23 days, I think it was. So they're finally getting healthy. They're going to be back. They're going to be well rested. This team is going to be dangerous when they take on the Rams this week, as much as I hate to say it. And at number 1, you know them. I hate them. The San Francisco 49ers, 9-3, up 1 spot because, well, they just dominated. The Niners proving that they are the best team in the league, and it's not even close. They went into Philadelphia and said, hey, Philadelphia, your shoes untied, or your socks untied, and then pantsed them on national television. It was absolutely embarrassing for Philadelphia. And San Fran, that was a scary game, honestly. Like, that was a scary game for anyone in the league. That was a big wake-up call saying, hey, this team that we thought was dead at the midpoint in the season, that was going on a slip, they're back. And they are not looking back. So the Niners are really getting that huge statement win, really solidifying their case as a bona fide number 1 team in the league, and it not even being close. Record-wise, maybe not because of that 3-game skid, but in terms of quality of play and ability to win, yeah, the Niners are the best team, and it's not even close in the league. Well, that is about going to do it for me today. If you guys did like, don't forget to smash like and subscribe, as it does help me out a whole lot. It tells me that I'm making content that y'all enjoy. And also, make sure if you haven't already, check out our official Week 13 recap, which will be popping up over here if it hasn't already. And with that, I will see you guys later. Peace out, and have a good one.